Welcome back to the Marvel Rivals Championship EMEA. I'm Lyric, joined by Spartan Tano, and we've had a bunch of fun games today. Royal Beamers, OG, Luminosity, all business. But we are finally making it into our top four. We got Virtus Pro versus All Business in the upper bracket, Luminosity versus OG, two big name top dogs taking each other down in the lower bracket. No second chances, Tano.
No, and the thing is, we need to know who our grand finalists are, so we need to get through these games, buddy. I feel like Luminosity OG Esports is going to be such a great game, and the joy of it is that All Business in that upper bracket are going up against Virtus Pro, and we've got no idea how that game is actually going to go, mate. All Business have come together for this tournament, and they've put on such a great show, taking down so many big teams already, that Virtus Pro is that final mountain for them to climb.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, again, it shouldn't seem likely. We shouldn't even talk about the what ifs because of the dominance, the stranglehold that VP has had on EMEA. But if they do, like, we're in uncharted territory. I don't even know what to think if All Business are able to make some kind of upset today.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that they're players from different esports that have come together to play this. Apparently, one of them picked up the game about 3 months ago, buddy, and they've made it through to the top 4 here in this Season 1 championships, and they're going up against the #1 seed that, as you've said, has a stranglehold on this region since really the alpha days. From the alpha to the beta, they have been dominating, so... And that is going to be so exciting, and we've had some calls in the chat for people excited to see All Business going up against them. So both of these two matchups, I mean, it doesn't get any better than this, really.
No, I mean, we've seen Luminosity, OG, these rosters under different names go against each other many times. Most recently, I mean, hell, they competed at the MRI in the lower bracket as well and went all the way to 5 games. So 2 teams who could put up a close showing. And I think it's one of the ones that if you're coming in today, sure, again, people lean on OG being that second team because of their finishes, but I think LG definitely considered in a similar tier, and it wouldn't shock all that many people if LG were able to take down OG.
No, I feel like if anyone can, it will be them. We're just seeing what games we want to be going into here. And the thing is, like, we've got to be getting through these games because NA is up next, right? And they're going to be showcasing their teams. They need to get down to their top 4. And that's another region that has been so exciting for everybody to be participating in. You've got Sentinel, you've got 100 Thieves that have a little bit of a stranglehold on that region as well, with FlyQuest being there up in the top level. So even just after this EMA region, you've got NA that people are so excited to see. Marvel Rivals Esports, they're feasting good, buddy.
Yeah, and you know, now all we need is to see the top dogs of each region go at it, right? A lot of people being like 100 Thieves, a lot of people being Virtus Pro, maybe people who follow China or Asia more have their team that, you know, they think is on top. And once we get there, all I know is there's going to be a lot of banter, a lot of laughs, and, you know, someone's going to come out on top. Virtus Pro, for my money, you know, kind of are looking like the best ones, but hey, 100 Thieves look scary.
They do. We need some sort of, you know, international LAN or something like that. We're desperate for it at this stage. We need to know who comes out on top in such an early sort of spawning of this Marvel Rivals Esports, to be honest. It is very early in the days for it, but we have seen these teams rise and dominate the regions that they're in. I do believe we're actually going to be bringing you the All Business versus Virtus Pro match. We're just waiting for that to get going, and I mean, we've already talked about it, Lyric. How exciting is that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, everyone knows the kind of unprotrudible wall that Virtus Pro is with people like Finzi and Nevix, especially being those Vanguards. But I mean, hey, if we saw a team just melting Vanguards earlier, it was All Business with their Hulk, their Doctor Strange, their Iron Man comp with that gamma beam coming out. I think All Business are a team that can surprise, that can come in and really catch VP off guard, especially because I know when the MRI happened, a lot of talk between 100 Thieves and Virtus Pro in interviews were like, hey, we're scrimming each other a lot, but hey, VP aren't scrimming that many of the rest of the European teams. So it's like, hey, how much info do they really have on All Business? How many more tricks does All Business have to kind of pull out of their hat?
Yeah, I mean, and this is it. All Business being that sort of new side of things coming into this. Virtus Pro, I don't know whether they've learned enough from them. I'd imagine they've done their scrimmage knowing that, you know, All Business are coming up against them. They've probably gone back and had a look at some of the games because, of course, you can do that in the client, by the way, chat. If you want to know how any of these games ended, you can go back into the client and actually watch them yourselves on the VOD, which is just incredible. But that's probably what Virtus Pro have done with that little bit of time that they had there, Lyric. You got to get as much information as you can because they really want to be making sure that they continue to be the defending kings and queens of this region.
Yeah, and you know, it's VP. They might not even need to go down the rabbit hole of like, oh, catching us off guard or what crazy picks do you have to counter us. But I like that you made the point of all the VODs are there on the client. One thing to remember, too, is these upper bracket teams have played significantly less than the lower bracket. We've had a lower bracket going on pretty much every day, where upper bracket is every other round. So, yeah, not as much footage to pull from, but we are finally ready to get into game. All Business versus Virtus Pro. We're starting off on Convergence. We're starting off with Shin Shibuya.
All right, this is going to be exciting. What are the bans coming out of the gate for Virtus Pro? They're going to take Adam Warlock out of it. Don't want All Business having access to that team up.
Yeah, and you know, we saw earlier, I believe it was Solopo, the one who would go on towards that pick and be able to play the res comp. We are going to see All Business, though, be able to save out Toot's Venom, so potentially cause some disruption in the backline and really make it hard for Virtus Pro to be that immovable object that they've been so good at being.
Let's see what Virtus Pro puts their importance on when it comes to picking a hero to save. It is going to be the Hela. They're making sure that Fee can absolutely cook.
Yeah, gonna be able to dissuade some of those flyers from coming through. Maybe even saying, hey, you can go on your cheesy Iron Man strategy, but we have the tools needed to be able to deal with it. Also going to be taking off the Groot, which kind of shocks me just from the fact that I feel like keeping on things like Groot and Winter Soldier show like, hey, we're pretty confident playing quote-unquote standard Marvel Rivals right now, playing the OP flavor of the months. And Virtus Pro are the best at it, but they still say, hey, we don't need that here in this game.
Yeah, I like the fact that most of these teams accept Magneto going through because it is one of those core tanks that all these teams use. And, you know, Finzi wants access to it, Welshmania wants access to it. Welshmania is incredible on the Magneto, by the way. So, yeah, I like the fact that both of them just accept the fact that it's an important Vanguard. Everybody wants access to it. Nevix looks like they're going to lock in the Thing here. So they're going to pair up those two Vanguards, not to be too concerned about any dive coming into those Vanguards.
No, not going to worry about it. And, you know, All Business we can see right now potentially leaning towards that dive. We know Toot loves the Venom. 2Z has been showing good performances on the Psylocke. So they are going to end up committing. And now, again, I'm looking at how much they can get done against Dredro and against Saipe to really disconnect the Vanguards from the strategists. It feels like for Virtus Pro, they're always so good at staying well-aligned, knowing where each other are, just having really an unbreakable formation to play around. Venom and Psylocke, definitely two heroes that are great for trying to accomplish that.
We usually see Sparker on the Psylocke, but they're coming out with the Hawkeye here. They're going to pair Hela and Hawkeye together. Quite interesting. We've actually not seen any of that previously in this tournament, but let's see. Everybody says Virtus Pro cook on anyone they come up against. All Business trying to put up the defense here for them.
Yeah, we are going to see the swap back from Sparker back to the Namor. But for now, it's Suzy trying his best to make sure that nothing can go forward. Toot as well. Really not looking for any aggressive plays just yet. Really playing pretty far back onto the point and it's giving Virtus Pro a lot of room to work with.
As we wait to see the action fall on down, Finzi's trying to rotate here and cause some damage onto the side of All Business, trying to pick up Toot. They've utilized that shielding. They're getting pretty weak, so they have to dive on out, knowing they don't have access to that. And guess what? They've spotted where that spawn beacon is.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if any of them go down, spend the time taking it out and making sure that the reses don't come online. As Tuzi looks for a bit of an angle, almost got a quick assassination onto someone, but ends up going down himself. Sloper, great job being able to find two. Fee and Saipe going down to the Tridents. And now it looks like this should be All Business's fight to win.
Let's see if they can take down the Thing. Not easy to do so. They get themselves out of it. Nevix utilizing that dash back to your teammate. But yeah, I mean, as far as defense goes, All Business, they've managed to take the first team fight. Virtus Pro having to look to regroup here.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Sparker is actually going to end up switching over to the Psylocke, what you said you expected him to be on. And it'll be about, can he find any assassinations? As Fate of Both Worlds comes out, a lot of ultimates on both sides. With Meteor M getting taken down, Sparker going down to Tuesday, beating the superior Psylocke. Another Meteor M to follow through. He ends up taking out Tuesday 2-2 to finish off. And now with the Goddess of Death, it is all chaos here, Tano.
We have to see them get out of there on the side of All Business at least. And there's the dance of the butterflies used to take down Feed. Tuesday connecting on those duelists. They are backed up here into this area. And it is going to be pressure on the point from Virtus Pro. They're going to get that first section. We're not waiting to dive on in from the side of All Business. The Vanguards have got onto the approach. Sparker comes again with the dance of the butterflies. Connects on both of the strategists. I don't think there's going to be enough here for All Business to defend this now. That's going to be capped to Virtus Pro.
Great job by Sparker with that dance of the butterfly to make sure Finzi now going to finish off Slopo, make sure that respawn is at least a little bit staggered. But now with them claiming the first point, All Business have time to regroup, get together, and try and launch this counterattack. Closar, close to his amplifier, really the closest ult we have online. Maybe All Business can try and make something happen, but I would love to see that paired with 2-2 once again.
Let's see what Fee can do with the connections around this corner, trying to sneak that KO, but they are spotted. 2-2 diving onto them, but they've got so much damage coming their way. We see Dreedro managing to sneak round as well. They're backed on out, and 2-2 goes down. Finze connecting for the double KO. Virtus Pro continue to walk this payload.
I love that they just immediately go for the cutoff through the building. Don't even give it a chance for All Business to try to walk up as a unit and make that concerted effort play. Still, All Business about to have a ton of ultimates online as we see Saipe get that invisible boundary up and available if needed. And you would expect now, as we're inching towards the second point, that we're going to start seeing ultimates fly.
That we are. Sparker trying to see if they can take out 2-2 here. They have to utilize that to get the shield on. Oh, there's the Fate of Both Worlds used by Luna Snow. All these ultimates used by All Business if they keep this defense on. Tuesday's prepared with the dance of the butterflies, waiting for that the Fate of Both Worlds to be used before they dive on in. They have backed up Virtus Pro here at least, and that's when they're going to drop this butterfly. Let's see if we can connect with these KOs, but the shields are up. They're not able to find one just yet.
Still forcing Saipe to use that invisible boundary so far back is a small win for All Business. A big win is taking down Nevix as Slopo on Namor. As Fee actually going to surprisingly be behind them. Oh, he's going to be caught off guard. We'll see how much his Monstros can get done for him, but sadly it isn't enough as we've seen Slopo be a monster.
All right, All Business. They're managing to get some good KOs here, get a good defense put through, and we're walking back this payload right now, back around the corner. Smart play from All Business. They're not pushing too far. They're not overextending. They're just trying to hold them at this choke point.
And I feel like we keep seeing the team that is a little bit more patient with the ulti, like able to get back from the Luna, Fate of Both Worlds, wait for the dance of the butterflies. Speaking of, Sparker finds it on Dishonoring, no support ult on the side of All Business to come out and save them. And I mean, hell, when it comes down to an old-fashioned fist fight, this is where Virtus Pro are showing that they could shine. Great job, just pretty much wiping All Business, and now they're going to be able to get this convoy moving forward once again.
Yeah, Slopo is kind of stuck behind enemy lines here, and they're going to get punished for it. And it looks like that is going to be a cap onto the second point, unless we can see 2-2 dive onto it and provide that assistance. They get wailed on. It doesn't connect with any KOs, but it does a huge amount of damage, and then backing that up to take down 2-2. We are aware of course, Tuesday being here in that background. Fate of the Both Worlds has to be utilized, and the Feast of Abyss comes out as well. Nevix connecting with the KO onto Tuesday. Good defense here. Clobbering time rains on down. Virtus Pro, they're going to be able to get this second section. Just waiting for that extra KO to clean up on Slopo. There we go. They get to cap.
Great clobbering time coming out from Nevix to really just finish off the rest of that fight for Virtus Pro. The pick on 2-2 was also pretty massive because it meant that they wasted the BRB before the fight had even really began. And now look how far forward Virtus Pro are playing, trying to deny All Business any exit from this choke point.
hold them here, let the convoy come on its own time, and yeah, you're in a position you want to be in, buddy. Toot Toot trying to roll on round. Don't have the piece of abyss because, of course, they used it, and they get the floor broken up from behind them thanks to the power of Pinsy, and yet again, another dance of the butterflies rains on down from Sparker. Takes out both strategists.
Yeah, Sparker is huge. Might even find another one. As Slobo not able to defend himself. Yes, he does. That's 3 for Sparker. Can he find a 4th? Yes. Welshmania goes down. A 5th for Sparker. And this is a massive play on the Psylocke.
Oh, Sparker, that is still Finsey takes Tuesday away. But wow, and that has just put so much chunk on the board for this payload. It's so close to getting over to this door. And look how far up they're playing on the side of Virtus Pro yet again.
And now that bought enough time for Fee to get his ultimate up with the Horn of Proteus. You have some good stuff from Finsey Deidre as well. But All Business are trying to answer back.
There's a Horn of Proteus in return. It doesn't connect for a KO. Fate of both worlds has to be used. Welshmania pops a Meteor M, just trying to get into the backline and take out Invisible Woman, but they go down to Nevix, and this is going to be the push. Just take down that Venom, and you can push this one through. The pressure is here. Slobo trying to get some connects, but with that boundary being up, they're not aware of where the target is. Nevix runs on out, tries to catch them off guard. Fate of both worlds is used again. Back is so close to having access to this dance of the butterflies. Clobbering time rains on through, but it doesn't look like Virtus Pro are going to go down. We are in overtime. Push to the wire here. Slowpoke goes down to Finsey. Sparker utilized that dance of the butterflies with the double KO, and if you take down Toot Toot, that's going to be it. They get the 3rd point, but that took a lot for Virtus Pro to get to that stage.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I think a lot of people would be surprised at the fight that All Business was able to put up, but still, Virtus Pro get it done at the end of the day. Sparker on the Psylocke was huge. 5 in a row in that play, but so many times we saw impactful dance of the butterflies coming out from him, and it was just a nice pull, right? Tuzi was the one who started on the Psylocke. Virtus Pro didn't even have one on their lineup to begin with. Have Sparker change over, and he shows, hey, I'm the one that needs to be feared and respected on this hero.
Honestly, best Psylocke, you know, at least on this side of the Atlantic, mate. Incredible player. And also, I feel like you're going to be happy with just taking out the strategist. Anything else you get on the back of that Dance of the Butterflies is just absolutely beautiful. But Sparker's going to be happy just taking the strategist out of the game.
Now it's about what All Business could do. Honestly, it's a bit of a strange matchup, right? Because I feel like against many teams, it's like, oh, we've seen Virtus Pro, you know, beat them before. We've seen Virtus Pro beat them many times before. But this is a matchup we really haven't seen. So I'm curious to see if All Business can, you know, get the point going, get the convoy moving, or if this will be kind of total domination like we saw OG and LG able to do earlier in the day.
It's hard to cap the point, isn't it? That's the difficulty. And Virtus Pro, they're used to being able to hold up those defenses. And the thing is, though, I feel like All Business, they played so well in that previous game. But I mean, when it comes down to it, they didn't have any time on the board left on the side of Virtus Pro. So they have been pushed right down to that final overtime.
Yeah, they definitely were able to at least get Virtus Pro to the line. But now it's going to be about seeing what Tutu can do, what angles he could find. Should have an idea that they are on that roof for now, but Virtus Pro actually playing a lot from the low ground, a lot more than we've seen any other team do today. Right now, just going to be poking them off right off the bat, but they're getting some good damage on the Finsey. Makes you wonder, where are the strategist heals? Where are they going? But it looks like Tutu was in the backside on the meanwhile, as we get a duel of the Psylocke. Sparker comes out ahead just again, like last game.
Sparker's like, don't come at me, I'm the better Psylocke, and just to prove the point, they rain on through to the strategist. Good amount of damage, but they don't find the KOs just yet. Feet has been backed on down with the Hella, and Tutu's there to clean them up. Diving back up onto the high ground, ready to dive on down, just with Sparker putting on the pressure to them. They do have the healing here from that rocket, and Sparker has to back on out. All Business, though, trying to rein it in here, but the Dance of the Butterflies comes into the background, takes out Zachary, and again, Sparker finds the answer with taking out these strategists.
And once again, right before the ultimate would have come up to be able to answer back. Now we're going to see Meteor M does connect, but doesn't have enough damage to kill on the Tutu, but it does open up for Sparker to get in there and finish off these KOs. Great job. Once again, pops the Dance of the Butterfly. And, I mean, actually, Tuzi pops it, but doesn't end up leading to any kills. Actually, a little bit of a desperation ult, it looks like, at the end there. And Virtus Pro managed to find another KO.
All right, time for All Business to regroup. They've managed to get 33% on this point. They need 2 more. We've got 2 minutes on the board for them. Virtus Pro in a comfortable position, but they don't have any ultimates yet. Finzi's getting very close to Eye of Agamotto. We do have a couple on the side of All Business. They're trying to break through, but Tutu is getting zoned out here.
Yeah, doing his best to also just distract the healers, as we're going to see Slow-Mo now. Nice snipe onto Sparker. Actually, the Monstro, the thing able to finish it off, but was able to get the aggression with that headshot. Now we're going to see Fee go in with the Goddess of Death. They're going to be able to get him chunked down and out of that ultimate very early on. Does manage to escape with just a sliver of HP, but this might be exactly what Virtus Pro have been looking for as Tuzi goes down. Tutu finds one too.
He's right on the edge here, buddy. They're just so close to getting it, but there's the dance of the butterfly from Sparker again. They didn't need to use it just yet, but it's ready to raid. It's so close to capping the objective, but Virtus Pro have held them off again. They have to regroup with 1:10 left.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been a crazy one, right? I feel like especially for All Business, we've been seeing Tutu and Slopo come and find some really ridiculous angles. I mean, the Venom, it's expected. The Namor, a little bit less so when he's the one pocketing that Venom. But it's done good to make sure they got, you know, two parts of the point capped. But still, needing that final one, less than a minute left, it's a tall ask.
I mean, they've got 2 ultimates ready for the clobbering time about to come up as well. But on the other side, we're quite comfortable for All Business. Tutu dives in here onto Fee, trying to see if they can take them down. They did get a huge amount of damage onto them, but they're just going to run away, get themselves in a position to take them out. Welshmania here in the face of it against Nevik. They're trying to shut down Zanri here. Meteor M is used, not able to get it through the door, so they turn around, throw it onto the Vanguard. It doesn't do anything though, Lyric, and we're just going to pop out the dance of the both worlds from Zanri. There's the Eye of Agamotto from Finsbury though. They pair that one up with the explosion damage and Closar goes down. I think Virtus Pro have done what they need to do here as we're about to hit this final overtime. Dredro trying to keep up everyone, but Tuzi takes them down. Zanri putting the pressure on, trying to freeze them on the opposite side. Sparker goes down after he takes down Tutu. Nevik in the face of it here against Welshmania. They do eventually fall, and despite a couple of really important KOs, I think Virtus Pro defended this.
Yeah, it looks like it. They're still going to be funneling one by one to try to save the point, but now with Goddess of Death coming out, it looks like they should manage to do it. VP has to make sure not to misstep, though, and leave the point and give that access there. Gonna find Finzi in the back. Tutu does answer with one back, but still, Dance of the Butterfly now coming out, being answered with a Dance of the Butterfly. Neither side able to find anything. Sparker does get Tutu in the end, and craziness, Virtus Pro does manage to come out on top. All Business absolutely made them fight for it, but still, this is the Virtus Pro that we've come to love and know.
I mean, they're just something else. Sparker is just something else on that Psylocke. Virtus Pro, wow, such an impressive team. They always are every time we get to witness them, Lyric, but I feel like All Business were so close. They were literally just moments away from being able to cap that objective, but it doesn't matter. Despite all those little fights that are breaking on out, the Vanguards know we stay on this point, we can defend this, and they've got the supports there to back them up. Virtus Pro feeling quite comfortable defending that point.
I mean, 20 final hits for Sparker, you know, 27,000 damage, most in the game there. Just electric performance. And it's what you've come to know out of Virtus Pro, like, especially how they use their ultimates, how they cycle them, their everything about it is great. It never feels like they're really wasting an ultimate. Even if one doesn't find kills, it feels like they're exerting pressure, they're pushing a team back, and they're gaining a positional advantage off of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even with Sparker, like, they're using that Dance of the Butterfly. They're not like, I need to make sure that I'm picking up at least 2 free KOs here. I just want to dive into the back line, get onto those strategists, use it. If I don't get any KOs, I'm at least pulling them to defend these strategists. And it works so well for them. Smart play by them, but of course, I mean, all business. They're again a team that you can't count out. I feel like every time they come in, Tutu had some moments of excellence there, to be fair, picking up some really important KOs, and we saw the same from Slowpo as well, and Tuzi. So, you know, they do have the capability of getting those important KOs, but it's just the fact that unless you wipe the team, you can never count out Virtus Pro.
That's the thing, because I actually think at the beginning we saw Finzi go down really early on. I'm like, hey, how did he go down? Where are the strategists? And you kind of can see in the background of the map, Tutu just being this massive annoyance for them. But like you said, they were never really able to chain plays like that into something more consistent. But if you're a fan of Virtus Pro, if you're just tuning in for whatever reason, you want to see what went down, we got those highlights for you now.
Oh, wow, those highlights. I mean, every time we see that Dance of the Butterflies, but it is so exciting. I mean, is it not just a beautiful ultimate in this game anyway?
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, maybe not as beautiful when you're playing against it. I mostly play strategist, so actually I think it is a hideous ultimate, the abomination to all ultimates. But
OP,
you know,
get it out the game.
From this point of view, gorgeous.
Yeah. 100%. I'm with you. I'm a strategist, man. Not out of choice, out of force, because, you know, in my region, there's not a lot of people that like to do that. We have a lot of duelists, though. But yeah, it's a stunning ultimate. But yeah, not good when you are a strategist. But getting this game ready to go, Virtus Pro feeling very comfortable after that one. All business. I don't know. I feel like we've mentioned the mentality previously, haven't we, Lyric? They need to make sure that they stay confident in their abilities because they are a good team.
And I will say, for all business, they never really shied away from the fight, even towards the end there. It seemed like they knew what their game plan was to do. Get Venom in the back line. Even they were using Slowpo's Namor quite aggressively to get things going. And yeah, it was just really nice to see.
We're getting ready, though, for the action with these, yet again, incredible skins, buddy. Decide your fate now. Brace the present and grow stronger with Thor's Lord of Asgard and Hawkeye's Ronin costumes. Take your chances and make your move towards glory on the battlefield. They've been available from April the 3rd. Let your presence ignite the battlefield.
Both skins, absolutely beautiful. I'd love both of them, despite the fact that I don't play both of them. But that the Ronin Hawkeye one, especially, clean. I mean, Lord of Asgard, looking pretty mean itself. But I guess that's not the only thing looking mean, is we got more skins. And you know what? We also have to attain glory by any means necessary. Eke your revenge with Moon Knight's Fist of Vengeance and Black Panther's Thrice Cursed King costumes. Embrace the fury of Dracula's curse and use your yearning for vengeance to ignite the battlefield. It's been available since March 27th, so what are you waiting for?
I mean, every single time I do this casting and get to witness the new skins they bring out into the game, I'm like, oh, my wallet is crying, buddy, every single time. I mean, I don't play these characters, but the skins look so nice that I just want to buy them. It's going to be amazing. I mean, we do have the North American games getting prepared to kick off, though. And how exciting, I mean, that's your region, right, buddy? How exciting is that region?
Oh, I think it's, you know, again, I'm super excited to see. I think there's a lot of teams in NA that are, I just want the international, man. Give me the international, 100 Thieves, Virtus Pro. But here are today's results. OG Esports taking down Ex Oblivione in, you know, a bit of a stomp. Luminosity 0% same, and even Virtus Pro 6s. But that Royal Beamers all business game. 5 games. It was great. Again, you could watch these matches in your client. Fun stuff to see. But yeah, you know, I'd say not really any unexpected results today. Maybe unexpected maps in terms of how much teams were pushed. but I'd say that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, we look at all these 3-0s, but we've mentioned it, haven't we, throughout today, that, like, some of the closest 3-0s we've seen, to be honest, and I feel like Sixes, Royal Beamers have been one of the highlights to push teams to that wire. As you have a look at the overview here, it's just, you know, some teams coming up against a matchup that they didn't want to see so early on. That's why OG Sports were down in that lower bracket, but they found all the answers they needed. They're going into that Luminosity versus OG Esports. Right now, Virtus Pro versus All Business. It's been an exciting day of Marvel Rivals battling it out here, buddy. These championships every single time just get even more exciting with the new additions that come into this game.
Oh, I agree. It's things have been looking pretty insane in terms of the competitive level again in EMEA and NA. Over in Asia. But like you were saying earlier, sadly, we don't really get to follow the rest of the series today. These games are going on and you can watch them in the client. But sadly, we do have to, you know, get the broadcast ready for the NA side of the games again. Your FlyQuests, your 100 Thieves, those big games are definitely going to be exciting.